working diligently today. I hope everybody's well. You had a great day. And I hope you caught our stream earlier, right? What we did was finishing up our algo trading strategy that we've been working on for the past week now. But before we continue with the strategy that we just started yesterday, there's a couple of things that I noticed during live trading earlier today that I want to be able to fix, right? I was trying to create. Oh, my name is Creative, and here at Creative Coder, what we aim to do is to be able to use coding in different ways, right? Right now, and I've only been doing this since August of this year, right? So I'm very still new in this, and I wanted to bring you all along in the journey with me. Excuse me. The aim is for us to be able to create an algo trading strategy that allows us to trade SPY, right? And we're trading SPY with via spreads. And these spreads are either call credit spreads or put credit spreads. Earlier, we was able to successfully do it. Now we're just going to be tweaking our strategy such that it works a little bit more based on what we've seen earlier and to be able to fortify it for later sessions. So if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to drop it, and I'm going to do my best to answer it as we go along with this. Just give me a second. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do, I tried to create a file. So what we're using, I'm using Cursor, Claude Code, ChatGPT, to be able to do all of this. Right. So just follow along with me. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to drop them again. This is my process and how I do it. Not to say that it's perfect, not to say that there's anything that's wrong in it. There may be, right? But nonetheless, this is how I've seen a bit of success being able to algo trade options. So let's go ahead and jump in. What I was trying to do is create a file that enables us to be able to go through these logs because right now it's over a gig. So anything over a gig, the code editor is not going to be able to do because, all right, it's a little bit too large. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is, all right, review the following log from live paper trading. Hold on. I'm kind of all right. Yeah, let me just have him do it. Review the law from live paper trading, and then categorize what you've seen happen during the previous sessions, such that we are able to address any issues that haven't been addressed yet, to ensure future sessions are productive. And again, one of the things that I've noticed is the take profit, right? We've noticed that the bot, whenever we're in profit zones, like it'll wait a little bit to be able to take profit. So that's one thing I want to tweak. Another thing I want to tweak is that the bot is only looking at a few different strike levels, right? When we're coming to be able to understand um, or excuse me, when we're looking for an entry position. So that's one thing. So the first hoping that it brings up is for us to be able to tweak the little take profit zone because right now I'm noticing that it's holding on to the positions a little bit too long. I mean, sometimes yeah, it'll make sense because the bot was trained to be able to be trade from 9:30 a.m. Excuse me, 9:35 a.m. to 11 to look for entries, but I'm seeing that it's finding those entries quick, and that's fantastic. But sometimes those entries aren't the best ones. So I wanted to see, all right, at what point does the bot not necessarily how does it go through it, right? So I want to be able to go through that and also the trailing stop loss or take profit, trailing take profit. Because there is take profit here, but I think for live conditions, I think that needs to be 20 million lines. No shit, bro. um, to get a better picture of what happened, we need to be able to figure this out, right? Because we're doing great, and I think there's a lot of fantastic things that we're doing here. But like we need to be able to have our ebbs and flows, right? So hold on. And again, I tried to make it easier where it was doing a like we could create a file, but the file wasn't working. It was kind of trash. I'm not gonna hold you. All right. I'm hoping that JIT is able to get us what we need. Let's just check our levels. All right, we're good. All right, so what we're fixing, critical issue 20.6 million, command layer. Okay, we already fixed that. This is flooding the log lines. We already fixed that. Inline, we've already fixed that. We've already fixed that. Multiple, the bot restarts. Position monitoring is working. Entry window. All right. We've already fixed this. The command that we've already fixed this. Vix multiple later fixed. Yeah, I'm telling you, we've already fixed that. Bot restarts due to that's me. Position monitoring is working. Bot monitor position every 10 seconds. Oh, that's another thing. I think that's a little bit too slow. Because what I've seen has been like every 30 minutes. But let's see. Yeah, I understand that. Because I was trying something. All right, it didn't pick up what I wanted to. No. Okay. These items have already been addressed. What we want to review now is the trailing TP. We noticed during live trading that the bot doesn't doesn't does not do too well regarding being able to take profit. TP is take profit, right? Whether the levels are too high or um, the trailing take profit is not working as we expect. Review the current configs, configuration slash parameters. Then we are going to backtest a few ideas in order to fix before changing the actual bot configurations. Here is the backtest. Boom, 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 boom. Hold on. Excuse me. Where's the backtest? This is nerd. So the backtest would be nerds BT. Here's the backtest, and here is the actual bot. I think being able to give JIT the log to works. And then read log, read the journal log, read journal, trading journal log, trading, back testing log, and then now advise what, where should we start? Should we start for back testing this so we can ensure properly working? All right. Sometimes you got to be able to give a direction, and that's fine, right? I was hoping it was going to find these items on its own, but as we can see, it isn't. What we need to do though is make it such that whenever it outputs these logs, it's just a little bit better. Okay, so the goal here is to be able to fix the strategies. Once we fix the strategies, I want us to be able to make an unusual, um, how on bar charts you have unusual activity? I want us to make this so we have this running for our system, right? So we can be able to see what's going on for our system. So we're gonna make something like this, our unusual flow, and then a market overview, right? So I want to make something like this where we're able to see it. But again, let's do one thing at a time. And we kind of are almost already did. Um, hold on. Critical finding: live bot has no trailing take profit. Really interesting. Back test fixed initial um regime today. Take profit 50. You filled at 29 net. Boom. 45. Reality check for 0 DTE spreads going from 0.29 to 0.45, 50% drop in spread value. This requires SPY to move significantly. Back testing at 30%, drawdown 30%. Okay. This is brilliant. It lets you capture partial profits instead of watching the whole 50% gains evaporate. Experiment one. Um, so hold on. Critical findings. So we already have our TP or our trailing take profit in the back test, but it's not in the live bot. So that's one thing we need to fix. I thought we fixed that already. So that's fine. Okay, so let's talk about experiment one, TP hit rate. See how often 50% take profit is reached versus expires worthless. Current. Measure the trades hitting each TP level, average holding time 2 TP, average P&L at exits, take profit versus stop loss versus end of day. Experiment 2, trailing top, take profit parameters, optimize activation and drawdown percentages, activation, drawdown, test on 9 combinations. Experiment 3, fixed versus trailing comparison. Measure the improvement on adding a trailing stop loss. Fixed, trailing TP, activate at 30, and then trailing at 35. Both, whichever hits first. Hybrid, fixed at 60, trailing activates at 30. Run experiment one first, modify to log, and then, all right, based on one, two, three. Okay. All right, so do y'all agree with this? I mean, double check and make sure that the current backtest has trailing take profit. If so, let's proceed with experiment one and gauge results. So, what is experiment one telling us again? Experiment one, take profit analysis. Okay, what levels are we hitting TP at? So, I'm fine with that. And then gauge results in order to properly adjust our parameters for take profit levels. All right. So this is something I can appreciate. We're actually going to go through our data and just reevaluate our take profit levels to make sure that we're amicably hitting it every time. Because I noticed during live trading, that was one thing that we're just holding on to the bag way too much, right? So that's interesting because I thought that the trailing take profit was in the bot, but it wasn't. So I'm glad. Don't modify. Let me create a modified backtest to analyze. Okay. I didn't. Nope. Nope. Perfect. I need to add the peak P&L. Let me just make sure it's not. Okay, so you're just going to do it to our current. Perfect. Go ahead, because I didn't want you to create another back test. I'm like, Jit, that's going to be way too much. Damn, it is about to compact. All right, hold on. Let me take this. And then, so I can have it for future because I'm noticing this is about to compact soon. So instead of to do list, we're starting with experiment one, and then we're going through it. All right, let's look at the back test. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? BT, BT, BT. There we go. Now let me add a validation phase, analyze. Okay. Well, I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. Um, all right. Now let's run our back test. Very interested to see how this is going to work out. Nonetheless, I think this is going to be good for us because I mean we actually get to be able to go through it, analyze what's wrong. You know what's another thing that I noticed we haven't been using is our productivity app. Um, I'm not going to bring it. I'll bring it in tomorrow. I'm gonna start just reintroducing it tomorrow. Because that's one thing I want us to be able just to be a little bit more keen on. Is just keeping track of shit, right? So I'm gonna start bringing that back in tomorrow. So I'm gonna bring our productivity app back in tomorrow. So okay, I'll just keep note of that. So while the back test is running, do we need to update anything? No. Um, you tell me nothing. And this is where I tried to be able to make that log analyzer, but it tells me nothing. Oh, you still got it. That's crazy. You tried some shit, but it didn't work. Well, nah, you can undo all. That didn't tell me what I needed to. Okay, it's working. You see our back test running. Now I'm interested to see what it's going. And this is on. We're back testing on 2023, I believe. Yep, 2023. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. 2023, 2023. Okay. TP performance. Okay. Loaded. Starting capital trading days 14. Found quality scores 47.3. Found the best put spread for theta mode, right? Because it was there. All right, quality. Okay, TP hit training 2020. Okay, take profit 20%, 30%, 40% hit. Current settings 60, 60, 40. Okay. The trailing take profit exits 5 trades, 45.5% of them, and the average PNL is 6.6. The trailing TP is broken. Wait, this is broken. The trailing take profit is locking in losers, not profits. The regime critical issue trailing take profit activate too early, 30%. Activate at 30%, but exits. The problem, the activation activates before trades become profitable due to friction and commissions. The TP levels are too high. All right. Issue 3, fix it. My recommendation, adjust the take profit levels. Okay. It's at 30%. Activates 50% of profits. Realistic. Lower the TP. Recommendation based on this. All right. I'm fine with that. And then tighten in. Would you like to implement these? No. Let's backtest these first. Let's backtest these before we implement and then gauge results. So what do y'all think? All right, so we found that our trailing take profit is not working as much because being able to activate at 30%, we're still bringing in losses. So what we're going to do is adjust these parameters based off the recommendations here, backtest it, and then review results. All right. Let's update the backtest to um, update the backtest to include these parameters and then review results. Also, make sure that we are using. I think it's tripping right now because I think it thinks it's 2023 4, but it's 3. BT. Hold on. And make sure we are using 2023 to start and validate before 2024. I believe just looking at the file, right? I see it right here. We are using 2023 data. So make sure it is consistent in the back test before in the back test. Once updated all of these, let's run the back test to gauge results. Excuse me. So this is cool, right? And you're actually seeing us go through the process. I mean, yes, we have, and that's the thing, right? We don't want to change anything live that's working. Yes, I'm going to add the trailing take profit, but I want to back test it first, right? I want to test it, making sure that it works on historical. And once we find out that it works on historical, then we're going to add it to the live bot, but not before. No, 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 no. We want to make sure we do this methodically. Now let me verify the data configuration and update it to 2023. Okay. All right, perfect. Let me run the back test with the updated parameters. It's not even running it in Conda Baby, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm not even gonna complicate it right now. TP optimize log. Okay. Excuse me. These allergies are kicking my ass right now. That's all right. We're gonna push through. Because I was trying to rest to be able to see if I can feel better a little bit before coming back on. Because yeah, we did a little 3 hour push earlier, and these allergies was just like trying to knock me out. But nonetheless, we were able to finish, and I'm gonna try to see if we can finish. Or we are gonna finish this bot. Just fixing the bot strategies a little bit, and then going to go ahead and make our live data stream. So I'm excited about that. I hope y'all are too. And let me show you what I mean by live data stream. So this is another strategy that I'm working on. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? All right, hold on. Let me just bring in. Let me go get the live data stream real quick so I can show y'all what I'm screaming. Hold on. So right now I have a data stream. I have a couple that is for cryptocurrency because I was really going deep on being able to understand this crypto world. So, oh crap. I do need to open it. Hold on. Y'all just bear with me. New window. Let me open this real quick. Because I'm going to need the file path. Boom. Let me get a new one. Alright, so we got a back test running. Alright, hold on. Let me get this data stream. Alright, perfect. So y'all can see what I'm screaming. We just need you to go there. New baby. Go ahead and open you up. Perfect. So right here is our liquidations, right? We are able to see live who's selling what Bitcoin, who's selling, excuse me, what cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, Doge, um, Cardano, or WIF, right? Dog with hat. So this is going to populate, and we're able to see, okay, any trades over 500,000, right? And let me open up another one. And again, I want to show you just examples of what I'm talking about. So when we do create it, you're going to actually see, oh, okay, this is something we already had before. And let me show you another one that we have. All right, perfect. It found one. Somebody just liquidated 115,000 of BT, and this is pulling it from Binance, right? The biggest exchange out there. So now let's get the recent trades. All right, and here are the recent trades, right? So I want to create something like this, but create it for option trading so we can see, all right, bet. We have the unusual activity, for example, right? Or we have a market overview, but for options. And I think that'll be dope to be able to create. And this is what we're going to do. Like we already have it kind of thought of, like of how I'm going to do it. But it's just a matter of being able to apply it now. So what I mean by data streams, this is what I'm talking about here, right? So we can actually get it up. Let me get it back on screen so you can actually see what I'm screaming. So when we get them to be working, like these are the data streams I want to be able to create. So I think this will be cool to have. So let me go ahead and let's just keep that running so we can see, check back on it later and see how that's doing. But again, right now we're doing options. I just wanted to give you an example of what I mean. It's like, all right, I want to create a data stream. So, oh, 3-run shot. Who hit it? And I'm watching the Mariners and the Blue Jays. My money's on the. I don't know. See, I ain't really that big into baseball. I'm more like a football, basketball. I'm starting to get more into hockey. Baseball is like, yeah. Um, but I'm going to appreciate the game a little bit more. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. No valid entry. No valid entry. All right. All right. The back test is taking too long. Processing 3.7 rows. Okay. Bro, just outputted it. The back test is taking too long to complete. Let me check the summary that was written in the file. I didn't actually do that. We didn't ask you to do that. Keep keep the current back test and we will run it. Jit be getting lazy, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I understand how to run a back test, you fucker. Y'all excuse that. Just some little allergies going crazy right now. Get our conda environment up, and then let's run our back test. I don't know what the hell that is. That's not the back test. What is that? I don't know where you got that file from, but that's not it. Here it is. All right. Before we run, let me delete you because I don't need you. I need to recreate it. Perfect. Run your back test. All right. Perfect. Explain what we are doing, such that any LLM chat model will be able to pick up where we left off at and continue the work. No need to create a file, just output it here. Make sure to include enough details so context and understanding can be reached quickly and can hit the ground running. You know who I'm supposed to be watching? The fucking Heat are on. um, yeah, I understand. Let that back test go. Oh, thank you. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's check on the back test. Back test is running. Perfect, perfect. See, sometimes these AIs can be like a little bit too lazy, so you got to be able to take the reins from them. That's why sometimes you got to be able to know what's going on. Yeah, it's cool and all to be able to have AI there as an assistant, but you still got to keep an eye on it. So our back test is running. I don't understand what it was talking about. Oh, it's taking too long. You're just being lazy. All right. You know what we're gonna do is, all right, hold on. Y'all bear with me. Watch this. Um, perfect. Just before we get there, so I'm gonna take that, put it here. I just want to get the memory right before we even start. So hold on, and then let's get the second half. Perfect. Data looks nice. All right, I can close you now. Get you back up. Boom. All right, back test ran. One trade. Take profit target 16.7. Stop loss 5. Average. Um, median P&L. Peak P&L. Minimum P&L. Okay. So here's the first set of trades. So let me get that prepared. It's running the second one, isn't it? All right, just let it run the second one. All right. It's running the second. Here is the previous session chat log for review. And let's let the back test. Okay, back test completed. And here is the back test log, back test results. Now let's discuss before moving forward. Check my levels. We're good. Again, y'all just excuse these allergies. It's really kicking my ass right now, but we're fighting and pushing through. All right, I'm gonna grab some water while this is out. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Take profit, improve, but there's still an issue. Was our target for low? Better but inconsistent. Problem is our new take profit levels, low, medium, high, are still too high. The trailing take profit never triggered. Why deactivate? That's high. Reach 50%. So trailing, okay. Effectively disabled. We're relying on 100% fixed take profit levels. We're capturing 48 to 69. The regime specific reality check. We're leaving 70% of profit on the table when it hits the most reasonable regime, and then decent, but okay. Are still too aggressive. Entering, even at lowering levels, right? We're still only hitting 50, 70% of the time. Issue is a take profit hit rate should be 70 to 80 on consistent profitability. Shows a huge variance. All right. Option A, lower TP, and then fix the trailing activation. So what do y'all think? Very aggressive. Trailing stop loss fixed as a net rarely hits. Act as a max. Trailing stop loss does all the heavy lifting. Activate early. Below peak, right? Hybrid of both. My questions for you: do you prefer consistent small wins or bigger wins with lower hit rates? Right. Should trailing take profit be a primary exit? B, or a secondary capture of big winners? C, do you want the same TP across all regimes? Easier, or I think that's better. My vote is A, a fixed TP at this trailing. All right, let's try it. Let's give a try to how option A is going to work, but we may adjust. Proceed and update the backtest. So let's see how that's going to work out. I'm interested. I'm curious, friend. I'm curious. So let's go down by the river. All right, we're going to run the backtest. Backtest A log, backtest A log. Okay, there it is right there. All right, beautiful. So we're waiting to see how the backtest is going to run. I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. Once we get it to work, then you know what? We're probably just going to be a little bit more focused. Maybe I'll hit the data streams next time. But like I really want to get this strategy working because I know it could bust. I know it can go when it starts working. It's just these little tweaks that we have to do. That's all it is. So I'm waiting for the back test to finish. Once the back test finished, then we can actually start with our work. Damn, it's just gonna be a track meet today, ain't it? All right, and then as soon as it outputs, we should see it here. Now that is going to be an interesting bunch. All right, we're just waiting on our back test, but the back test should be finishing up soon. As soon as that wraps it up, then we can go ahead and proceed with our work. During the interim, let me just go ahead again, this is an example of the data stream that I'm going to be bringing in for options. But right now, this is for cryptocurrency, right? I just want to take a peek at it, see what it's doing. All right. So this is just an example of one that we're going to be bringing in. Here's another example. Again, we touched on this earlier, but this is for cryptocurrency, right? I want to be able to bring one in specifically for options. So we're going to bring that in, but this is after we get these little tweaks here fixed. Once we get that fixed, I just wanted to stop them because I noticed I was running in the background. But once we get those in, it's going to be my you. That's nice. Oh, cash. There we go. It's almost there. It's almost there. And as soon as it outputs the backtest strategy, then we're going to continue on with the work that we're doing here. And it's great work, right? Not everything works at like when you first do it. And I'm not going to hold you. There are some times when we first create a strategy, that thing just goes. But there are other times we're going to need to tweak. So this is one of those times where we're going to need to tweak the strategy. But once we get it to work, it flies by itself. Just a matter of being able to like keep that thing consistent. That's it. Oh, the brat tat tat. All right, while this is outputting, I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back. Y'all hold it down. We'll grab some water. All right, talk to me nice. Ba-dum. Here we go. All right, so we have our output. Strike range from 165, final memory, Greeks loaded. All right. Now let me look at the results. I'm just going to quickly scan it while it's outputting it here. And as soon as it outputs it, we're going to be able to look at it. And I'm always interested to see like what was the delta that we went in. You know, remember delta is probability of profit and how much the stock is going to move um, when we are trading. Oh, a big stop loss here. I mean, lost $50, and then we hit 90 off after that. Then we made. Okay, let's look. Back tested, fixed, trailing stop loss. The 18 trades were up to 72.2, up from 70% return rate. The sharp is up a little bit. The max drawdown is still too high for my taste. Perfect matches are TP, okay, consistent, 40. Final profit exit is 32%, stop loss 20, trailing stop loss none triggered. Final, all right, regime down, okay, still hitting targets. Our first trailing stop loss, okay, exit. All right, positive. So what we're doing is option A. It's working. What's working is that the fixed TP levels at 30% is perfect. The trailing, I'm reading right here. The trailing take profit finally triggered. One exit validated at 18.6%. Peak was 44. Why didn't it take it at the peak? So that's the thing. Locked in the profits when the trades dropped from 44 to 33. All right, this is exactly how it should work. The win rate improved, sharp improved. The concerns is that the TP is still rare. Only 1 out of 28 trades hit it. The activation of 35 may be still too high. Median is about 32 to 33. So most trades never reach the 35%. Um, only hit it. Lower the activation. Keeping the current settings. Lower the activation. Same. um, Lowering it, resets quickly, then we go live. All right. So let's lower it and let's gauge the results. And once we gauge the results, then we're going to be able to tweak it a bit. All right. So let's proceed to lower the trailing activation and gauge the results afterwards. Um, all right. I think that's fine. I think, excuse me, I know that, that's going to be fine because, I mean, for it to be able to hit the 35%, I think is just a little bit too aggressive. So for us to being able to do this, I'm interested to see how this is going to work. So this is going to take like another 5 or 10 minutes to run. So while that's running, I don't want to do too many things at once because I noticed that I could fault myself. Um, you know what? What we should do is just let's validate this work real quick. And how I validate it, sometimes I like to be able to use just different LLMs. So what I'm going to do is just boom, come here. All right, come here. Review the following log for what we are working on for a back test for a strategy for an option trading strategy. All right. Then explain what we are doing on an elementary level so we understand it. All right. Trading bot, I understand that. How the strategy works in simplest terms, I get that. I understand that, but one of the things that I wanted to be able to do is the old settings were too greedy. We tried taking profits at 50%. Most trades never got there. The trailing profit didn't even turn on because it was set too high. We lowered the take profit trigger to be 25 to 30%. This made more trades hit their goal. Win rate went up. Risk weight. Can I not talk? Rate Risk went down. We lowered the trailing activation from 35 to 30. Now the leash gets pulled earlier. More trades will have the trailing profits working. This helps lock in extra profits on strong moves. More consistent profits, not just hoping for big wins. Better precision on gains. Less emotional for trading. The robot follows the rules exactly. We can see what's working. We're teaching our trading bot to take small, steady wins most of the times and still be ready to grab extra profits if the trade runs far. Next step is to run. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. So let's see where we're at. All right. The back test is still running. So what we're doing is we want to be able to have our bot being able to, all right, consistent wins, consistent wins, consistent wins. Once it hits these consistent wins, if it catch a big winner, perfect. But if we could do 50, $100 every day, right? That adds up quickly. And especially we're trading at $100 account. This next strategy that we're working on, the Lotto one, is trading. It's still $100 account, but it's $10, $15 max trade. But that one is a little bit more riskier, right? Because you'll see when we get there. But that one is just a little bit more riskier. But when is there more risk, there's more reward. Where is there more risk, there's more reward, fam. Wig, bro, I'm gonna need you to step up, fam. Oh, we got a little football going on right now. We got little football. We got two games, but before I even go there, let me go check this little baseball. So I'm just waiting for the back test to run. As soon as we get that back test to run and actually do what we need, then we're actually going to reconfigure our bot to be able to work with those new back tested results. And then once we get that working, depending on how much time we have left, I may just go ahead and work on these data streams that I talked about. Being able to get live option, unusual activity, option flow, things like that. And I think that'll be interesting for us to be able to have when we're actually trading, you know? I should have thought of this before, but again, I was just stuck on being able to make this bot work the way we are. So, one of the great things about this, right, is when this isn't we're taking out the guesswork. So it would have been something if we just wouldn't went to update these parameters without back testing it. That doesn't make sense. I recommend go ahead and back test what you think it should do, just like we did here, right? I had an idea on how to tweak the parameters just based off what we seen earlier from live paper trading. So once I did that, now I have to tweak it such that we can be able to make this work without overfitting and without being able to, because I'm gonna run this on 2024 as well. This is just 23. 65 trading days. All right, let's take a look at it. Boom, 11, 13. All right, let's keep taking a look. We still crashed at that 46. Excuse me. 80. Oh, $84. A little slight work, but then it dropped again. No, I made a little 13.92. All right, let's see. Option B, trailing stop profit lowered to 30% comparison. Why no change? Is even the 30% activation didn't even trigger. So double. Okay. 30% catches 2 to 1. The exits are earlier. Before reversal. Massive improvement. All right. Bottom line is B is the winner. Why B is the winner? 30% activation is superior. Adopt. Before we do that, I want to back test on 2024, just to make sure that we ain't overfitting over here, homie. So let's proceed to back test on. Bro, it's October and y'all bringing out turkey. I can't stand y'all. 2024. Excuse me. And then intraday Greeks. Intraday Greeks. Intraday Greeks. Intraday Greeks. 2024. And review results to make sure we are still getting good performance. Across years, and we are not overfitting the strategy, and it is robust across years. You're really doing this little ploy, huh? Bro, you didn't even update the. Bruh. Update as well with the 2024 files. That's why I got to keep an eye out on Jit. Like, bro, what are you doing? Did it update it? Did it update it? Yep, 2024. All right, it updated it. So we can run it. Tesdale Fenton? That's how you say that? Bruh, y'all be selling me too much. Just, alright, man. I'm over it. I'm over it. So we're going to let this back test run and then gauge the results. Again, the reason we're doing this, we want to make sure we're not overfitting for any particular year and that the back test is as agnostic as possible. Like this baby could run no matter the year. So I'm waiting for the back test to run. We're updating it to run on 2024. We just did 2023. We did see some improvement, but I want to see how it works on 2024. Excuse me. Boom. We'll receive some good activity here. Oh, that's where's 2024, 2024, 2024. Okay, 2024. Okay, we're starting to see some activity. Let's go ahead and take a peek. Oh, it just finished. So good. Perfect, perfect. It's on the market a lot more for 24. Um, excuse me. Yeah, it's in the market a lot more. And you're seeing like we're only doing $1 spreads, right? So we can definitely make this work. The delta's a little bit higher. Matter of fact, we got a range of delta, so it's not like just one thing. You feel me? Excuse me. Yeah, we have a range of delta, so that's fine. I'm okay with this, right? Now I'm seeing because my biggest issue was like I didn't want us to leave money on the table, and that's what I was saying before. Is that all right? We're leaving some money on the table. I even think that 30% trailing stop loss could be a little bit better. All right, 2024. We have 1181%, 200% return. The sharp is a lot better. Max drawdown is a lot better. Consistent TP. One TP hit, perfect. Validation, perfect. Identical. Look at that sharp, a lot better. Max drawdown is better, but it could be a little bit better. I'm not gonna hold you. Consistent TP levels. All right. Key finding is that our improvement when win rate is increasing in 2024. This is the opposite of overfitting. The strategy is adapting well to different market regimes, which we love. Returns are extremely consistent, over 100%. We love that. Returns cluster around 200 to 200, 240%. This is remarkable consistency, proving our strategy is not overfit on 2023 data. Risks are dramatically better. I love it. Yeah, we have our sharp is a lot better. Um, okay. Why the improve? This is exactly the target that we wanted. All right, so we're good. Um, We're gonna paper test this again tomorrow. Let me see. Um, See this 30%. This is what I mean. I thought this was a little too high. I wanted to see if we did like 2025, and see what the results would be. All right. Let me try that. I want to try 20 and 25. Um, take profit levels. Or is it good? Am I leaving money on the table? With 20 and 25, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. All right. We're Gucci. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. All right. Let's proceed to update the bot with the configurations and then make sure to quickly test without PyTest or mocks. Then update our journal as well so we can keep track of it. Um, Here's the journal. Here is the journal for FYI. Proceed. A sub above. Da-dum, da-dum. A sub above. Yeah, Yeah, take profit was 60%. I mean, I get it, but shit. I get it, but we still want to make sure El Dinero. Dum dum dum. Y'all hold on. Let's check our back test. We running, baby. We doing it, doing it, doing it. I go some crazy. All right, let's do a quick syntax check. So we should be we should be Gucci. Our back test, we've implemented what we did in our back test. Perfect. Now it's testing out just to make sure we're good. My own little check I can do because it's supposed to say, all right, market ain't open. Let's look. Oh, because you know why? I'm not connected. Hold on, let me get connected real quick. Let me get connected real quick to IBKR. Hold on. Let me get connected. Let me get connected. Um, hold on. Let's make sure that the entry for the bot is still entry window. Entry window for the bot is still 9:35 a.m. to or 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Let me log in real quick. Creative. That may be wrong. Oh no, it's not. I thought I fat fingered that. Beautiful. All right, perfect. And we in there. All right, beautiful. I understand. I understand. I don't know why this opens every single time. I mean, I appreciate it, but I only needed you that one time, homie. Let's go ahead and close you. And then, all right, let's run it. Am I tripping? Okay, here we go. It is 7:19 in the evening. So this bot's gonna be like, all right, I'm outside my window, and plus the market is closed. Error rejected. Okay, created paper. All right. Um, perfect, perfect. It's supposed to check if the market is open, but it kind of didn't do that. It just went straight to, all right, I'm outside my window. I'm outside my window. I'm gonna check on a Saturday to see if it like checks if the market is open. But nonetheless, all right, cool. All right, perfect. We updated the configs. All right, perfect. Ran the syntax check, no errors. Full optimization. Okay. Initial option A, option B. Perfect. Ready for. All right, I like this. So we have our bot. We tuned it a little bit so it can actually work. Do we want? And I don't want to keep overfitting it, right? Keep tweaking, 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 tweaking. So we're Gucci. So I'm happy with the bot. The only thing I kind of want to do now is like little simp shit. Ready for. I don't think this is an issue. No, because this is just errors. Then it actually connects manual trading, manual controls. It's supposed to check if the market is open, and it doesn't do that. It just says go straight into no. So all right, great work. Give it this little pat on the back. Close you out. Now I just want to just make sure that it's checking that the market is open. But before we do that, we have to build JIT context. So I'm starting another, not a little Thanos. All right, let me go to my little Monday football. When I say I hope that the Falcons beat the Bills' ass, bro, I'm talking about touchdown. Read the following and then review our bot. Then review the bot. Then explain to us only using 212 total tokens for output response. Use a different creative out of the box analogy to explain the bot and option trading strategy. Be great and give us a great explanation. And I do that so we can be able to build context, right? Once we build context, then I can update it accordingly how we want to. Excuse me. I told you 212. You just blew past that. The Nerdbot is a chess. Oh, I like this. A chess master playing zero DTE options. Picture a grandmaster at Blitz. Excuse me. Picture a grandmaster at a Blitz chess tournament, but the entire game resets daily and volatility determines the board size. That's nerds, right? The game board is a three regime VIX adaptation. When VIX is greater than 15, or excuse me, less than 15, calm seas. Aggressive credit spreads, 30% take profit, tight 40% like attacking when your opponent defenses are down. When VIX is between 15 and 18, choppy waters. Balance, 20% take profit, 50% caution mid game. And when it's greater or equal to 18, storm defensive, 30% takes profit, generous survive first rate, and then profit second. The killer move is that the trailing take profit. At 30%, Nerds activates a trailing take profit. At 25%, complete like a grandmaster who calculates when to convert a winning position into a forced checkmate before the opponent can counterattack. If your position peaks at 40% profit, then the bot locks in 30% minimum, preventing the soul crushing reversing from 35 to 60. The execution, everyday nerds enter between 9:30 and 10:15 a.m. selling premiums like a casino collecting chips on $1 SPY spreads. Delta triggered based on regime. Credit spreads is in theta mode. Debit spreads is when VIX's screams panic, right? Maximum risk is $90 per the $100 portfolio. The results 72 to 92% win rate across 2023 and 2024 backtested data with returns anywhere between 195 to 240 per testing period. The trailing take profit save trades from Doom, one instance peaked at 35%, reversed towards stop loss, but the box exited at 23% instead of the 60%. That's $83 saved on an $100 position. It's not gambling, it's probability arbitrage when the adaptive risk management, a machine that exploits time decay while VIX determines the betting size. Do I understand everything I just read? Like 80%. I hope you all too. If you have any questions, please let me know as we're going through this, right? We noticed that the bot does not check if the market is open. Y'all gonna let him do that if the market is open before trading. Now, double check our um, theory here and make sure it does before we begin on another part of this sprint and cite your sources and response. Now I know it doesn't because we just checked. But before we can even, is it going to be a shootout? Didn't James Cook play for Georgia? So is he going back home? James Cook. Did he play for Georgia? I think he played for Georgia. Yeah, he played for Georgia, so that's funny. Your theory is correct. The bot does not check if the market is open. Entry window only, not market hours. Checked. This checks the time of day, not if the market is open. I had one that like was super cool. Um, no market status validation. Search the entire code. Market status, exchange open. Critical bug. Bot will attempt trades on holiday weekends and early closures. What the bot daily? Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Add NYC calendar. Check before entry. Using Panda's calendar is similar. Recommendation. All right. All right. Let's run a few terminal commands to test how we can do this and make sure it can work without us having to update the year. For instance, we are in 2025 now, but should be able to update once we cross over to 2026 and 2026 and so on. So let's iron out, and flush out this theory before we implement it. Da-dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, dum, dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, dum. Thought already we had that. I thought we had that, but I guess not. But I guess not. Panda's market calendar. Can you explain what the pandas market calendar Python library does? Gives your Python code the calendar of the stock market. Unlike normal calendars where weekends or holidays are easy to spot, the financial market, like the NYSE or the NASDAQ, has their own calendars. They likely close on the weekend. Bro, do this within the Conda environment. I'm not going to hold you. All right. Do this within the Conda environment and check and continue. Gives you tools like the NASDAQ. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, many more. Get NYC. Is the market open? Output, market open, market close. Get valid trading sessions. Align with your strategy in real time. Check now if the market is open. Schedule your algo to only trade when the market is open. Backtest strategy using real. Okay. I love it. I didn't know we can do that. Let's just go ahead and pip install here real quick. I just did that too. That's funny. That's funny. All right, perfect. Excuse me. I just found out today about that library. I didn't know that library existed, and that's the cool thing about pandas, right? Or excuse me, coding. You're gonna find out new shit every day, so I can appreciate that. Maintenance required. Library updates manually for future years. I love it. Goes early detection, real time detection. All right, let's proceed to implement this within the bot. Then make sure working and do this without causing errors or failures. Proceed. Ba-dum. That's just the back tester results. I'm just looking at something real quick. Let me just do that. Oh, wait, let me come here. Beautiful. Excuse me. Import the calendar, please, and thank you. I want to use this for this other bot too. Money, baby, money, baby, money, baby, money, baby, money, baby, money, baby. Excuse me. Create market test. Boom. It should be like, oh, you know what? Market is not open. I wanted to give me a message. Be like, yo, market isn't open. Try back again later. All right. We just ran the bot in our terminal. We realized the UX user interface, user experience, user interface, UX user experience, UI user interface, right, could be a bit better when it comes to telling users that the market is closed. Review the log. and then advise on plan to do so. Money, baby, money, baby, money, baby. We're working. We're almost there. It only took us about 45 minutes or so to be able to get this part done. Now I want to tweak it where it can actually let us know, hey, you know what? The market is closed. It doesn't tell us that right now. I mean, it goes through it like internally, the bot knows, but like we as users, I want us to be able to get feedback that, okay, the market is closed. The current behavior outside window, market checks run, but the message is buried in the scan loop. No clear indication why the bot isn't trading. Market opens, but the outside doesn't clarify. Add, perfect. Closed Monday after hours. Entry improved. All right. Generic, perfect. I love this. Bot idle until perfect. I love that. I love that. I think that's a lot more better than just being able to say, all right, you know, we're outside. Um, that all right, perfect, perfect. Let's proceed to implement this and make sure working properly. Money, baby, money, baby, money, baby. So we got our strategy, and it's working, and we got it, and we got it, and we working. Boom. Let me see where our code is at right now. Anything, I better be justified, but anything over 1,000 is like, all right, are we pushing 1,500? I'm gonna go have it look at this code and just make sure there's no duplicates. There's no. We just added 288, like almost 60 lines of codes right there. I want to have a review, just make sure there's no duplicate. There's nothing, no redundancy, no overlap, and like this is clean code. You feel me? I'm not Jamaican, but you know what I mean. This is a clean 1,500. Because usually I like to be able to keep it under 1,000. But granted, with the intricacies that we're doing here, I'll allow it if that's the case. But I just want to make sure it's clean. You see me? All right, can't find suitable target legs. All right. Why is that? Why is theta like this, but then delta is like this? Okay, that's interesting. Something to look at. All right, where did it end up at? Hold on, where did it end up at? 1553. All right, let's go look if it actually did what we needed. Excuse me. All right, perfect. So it has what we needed. Retrieve 17 open positions. No. Okay, close. Market open tomorrow. So I like that. I like that. That's what I just wanted to improve, right? Because yeah, we can have it, um, but it could be a little bit better. But I just mean being picky. It can be a bit better, but that's just me being picky. That's all it is. All right. Now let's. All right. Now let's review the bot code and make sure there is no overlap, duplicates, um, duplicates or redundant code, and everything in the code is ready and is being used, and there is nothing blocking or stopping the bot from working. Money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. We have 15 functions in there. Um, I guess so. That would make sense. I mean, for 15 functions being 1500, so that means 100 lines per function, maybe, kind of. This is a function. There go another function. There go another function. Async function. There go another function. If these are all needed, my jit, hold on, let me just, because you like to be able just to run off with shit. Current user, viable. Then once we're done there, do you think we should just go over to the data streams? Potentially blocking HTTP call. I don't think it is. Again, we're going to take what it says with a grain of salt. So I'm not going to um I'm not going to initially update anything until like I put some eyeballs on it and actually verify it. Early detection exists. I know it does. Once we put some eyeballs on it and actually know what's Gucci. Oh, Cash. Come here. And one. Yeah. Potential for improvement. No duplicates found. Our variables are used. No blocking issues. Complete flow pattern. Robust error handling. New features are working. Potential improvement. Nah, I'm straight off that. Bot is production ready. Um, Stopping by, but no thanks. Give us a like though. All right, bot is clean. So we don't gotta overcomplicate it. So JIT is working. All right, perfect. All right, I'm Gucci off this. So now what I want to do is let's talk about the data stream. So I think I have some time to do that. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. All right, perfect. So let's talk about the data streams that we want to make. Hold on. Um, Nothing. Okay. We want to be able to create a data stream file, data stream system that is able to tell us the. Do you want to start with option flow? Um, Excuse me. This is a real time AI. Okay. Indices. A bar chart option flow is a highlight of large option trades that are transacted across the U.S. exchange. Seeing which option strikes our large institutional traders are buying or selling can provide directional sentiment and volatility insight for the underlying security. Option flow captures the top 100 trades per underlying assets with 100 trade size, with a trade size greater than 100 to eliminate the noise associated with smaller trades. All right, I want this. We want to create a data stream that does the following. Um, Here is the site. Now let's walk through how we can get this done. Money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. Nice. This is a great project, but I'll walk through the practical production ready from MVP to scale for an option flow data stream that replicates the bar chart flow for top large. Okay. I'll include the infrastructure, data sources, processing logic, schema, example, the Kafka. I'm not doing Kafka. See, data license must read. To consolidate the SIP, the publisher option phrase. Okay. Collects from the vendor. All right. Publishes the bus stream. Implements. All right. let's let's do this again. Now we are using theta data and should have enough to get this done. Let's do this because I think Jit is about to go like a little hamster V. Um, all right, let me do this. I'm just gonna leave ChatGPT for a minute. I'm gonna come here. All right, now we want to create. Wait, let me just go back to Chat. Okay, okay. Should be able to get this done. Now let's discuss this. This system slash file will be ran in the terminal. Um, so keep that in mind. With that, let's discuss how to get done. Switching from, yeah, that's going to be annoying, is way cleaner, more stable. All right, configure, we already have. Stream, real time trades, filter. Okay. Top 100 flows and memory, flow structure. Would you like me to make this a multi-stream that also aggregates the top 100? This is usually what pros use for live sentiment analysis. Um, yes, let's do that. All right, update the plan to do this, and we will decide if we're going to use it or not. So what I want to do is two things. One, I need to copy this because this is what enables us to be able to do that. And you're Gucci, so let me just make sure there's nothing running. I can close you because you're not needed. Boom, open. Option, baby. Then we're going to create a data stream folder. Boom. Then open our data stream folder. And then within our data stream folder, I want to paste this. What I also want to do, but I'm not using, I found out using this one is a bit better. No, not using you. I'm using you. All right. Read the following. Then proceed to run a few terminal commands, curls, to make sure we have access to theta data before we proceed with what we are doing for this sprint. This is going to be cool. Which you should be Gucci. It is running. Perfect. All right, bet. It's getting the information that it needs. We are getting the info that we need, yeah? Let me try the fix. Time format, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, beautiful. All right, this is what we want to do. All right, great work. So this is the plan that we want to implement. Before actually doing it, let's proceed to check the data available from Theta Data so we can properly plan, then execute this to ensure it works how we need it to. Option flow, and then we're going to have, I want one for unusual activity. I want that one too, and then I want market overview. Let me verify the real-time streaming, what's available from data data before implementing. I'll check their streaming capabilities, which they do have. Which they do have. Not Thunder vibes. Yum. I should have told you to do it within the Conda environment, huh? Oh, it's checking the API docs. Okay. It's 7 up. Oh, nice. Nice. All right, Bijan. Hold on. That's one thing I just want to put an eyeball on. Theta, data. Let me just go look at what you're looking at. Theta, data, Python, GitHub. This API is deprecated. Please use our REST API. Okay, that's always fun. Theta, data, API. We're gonna go to the docs. We're gonna go to V3. We're going to go to REST API. We're gonna go to options. We're gonna go at time. No list. I think at time is what we're looking for. Python. This code example shows you how to make requests for option data using Python programming language. Oh, here it is. Hold on, bro. Let's do this. Review and check if this provides the insight, and also run this within our conda environment, fam. Money, baby. Perfect. Now I understand that they did. Okay. That's a touchdown. Drake London. We should get streaming. That's the thing. Like, I really do think we can get streaming data. Um, at time trade. This provides the listed for milliseconds of the day. I still think we can do this, bro. Define streaming version. Okay, I told you. And quote. All right, so boom. Trade. And then we have quote. Quote. All right, perfect. Then we have quote. This is good, fam. This is good. No. Um, do not create an environment, a virtual environment to do this. Figure out how to properly use the Conda environment without the need of creating a virtual environment. Fam, let's get this done. Money, baby, money, baby, money, baby. I'm going to see if this provides what it needs as well. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Y'all just give me a second. We're going to have a dope ass stream, a data stream coming up. I'm going to try to see if we can make 3 of them before we head out. All right. Give me the output. Okay, this is what I want to do. While before it outputs, let's get the message ready. So I have the trades and the quote, and I think at time means to be able to get it real time. Returns the latest NBB quotes reported by the opera at a specific millisecond of the day. Excuse me. So I think that one will work. Returns the latest trade reported by opera at the specific millisecond of the day. The trade condition maps can be found here. Let's go ahead and get that one up in. Download as a CSV. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring that one in. I think you're wrong. And this is why I think you're wrong. I'm going to show you why you're wrong, but just give me a second. All right. We think we may have found out how to properly do this. Review. also then let's properly figure out how to do this. We do have access to the V3 endpoints based on our subscription. Let's figure out the disconnect and get this to work. All right, let's see what you screaming here. Not true WebSocket polling based off. No, I don't want a polar. Money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. All right, get me right. Get me right. Let's figure out how to properly use this. Interesting for no data at. That's after hours. Let me test with a specific strike to better understand this. Excuse me. All right, get me right. Get me right. Get me right. We're practically there. We're practically there. Perfect. Now I understand. Now let me create a working live streaming proof of concept. See, sometimes you got to do the work for them. That's it. We just got to shift through it. All right, this is what I want. This is how I want it. This is why I want it. Get me right. It's a very interesting way to spell Houston. Let's see. Were you really smelling your armpits? That's not weird. That's not weird. Let's go. Off night. Good shit, KJ. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. Let's go here. Boom. Boom. Let me get my new. Perfect. Let me get right. Let me get you right. Let me get you right. Perfect. Data streams. Perfect. So I'm going to open it up in the terminal so I can run it here. All right, so I can see what the AI is seeing. So we can go ahead and look at it real quick. All right. Oh, you know what? It may not work. I think it would. It may not work. Oh, perfect. It is working. It is working. 1017. Okay. It is working. I love it. No new trades. No new large trades. Okay. This is exactly what I want. So it's exactly how we want it to work. All right, perfect. Now we just got to tweak it where like it actually works. And this is real time. It's pulling in the data real time. Um, so this is cool. So remember before I had the liquidations for the cryptocurrency. Now I wanted one for actual option trading so we can have this running in our background. And I'm pulling the data from theta data. So that's great. All right, perfect. So you're doing it that way. Option flow. Get the latest option flow. Get historical. Okay. How can we do it where at time? Okay. But it's only no persistence, no persistent connection. Must poll with increment time of day parameter. Traditional WebSock. Okay. Does have real time capabilities. Get the latest trade. Get the last quote. Get all contracts at once. Okay. Begin from 5 minutes ago. Market opens, and then it loops. Okay. Call, size, price, premium, condition, three new trades, aggregated dashboard. All right. Now here's what I want to do. Um, how can we get seeing which option strikes large institutional traders are buying or selling can provide both directional. Okay. Review how bar chart is doing it for option flow. Visit. Now, how can we replicate here with the data provider that with using theta data as we just checked? Review and advise and then explain to us. Money baby, money baby, money baby. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. I just need to tweak it a bit, where it's going to be able to be a little bit more comparable to how Theta Data is doing its. But I just don't want ETFs. I want, or I just don't want stocks. I want ETFs as well. Where is it? 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 Okay. Also see ETFs. Do we? Does it? Okay. I think ETFs. That's just mainly SPY. So stocks and ETFs are good, right? So let's do stocks and ETFs. Okay. Create a detailed comparison and implementation plan. All right. Also review. We want this to be able to work with stocks and ETFs to replicate how bar chart is doing it, but can work with our data provider. All right. Now, this has been a close game this whole time. A 1 point game. Nobody's really haven't been able to separate. That's my ball. I don't know if you knew that, but that's my ball. Okay, I just wanted to check that until you're there. It's coming, baby. All right, we're almost there. It's outputting so it can check, and then once it checks it, we'll be able to have our own data stream that pulls in the data from theta data and allows us to be able to see the option flows, right? Biggest trades, for stocks and ETFs. Oh, I did not expect that from you. Oh, bad call. Bad call. Bad call. I hope it's not doing all this just to make a plan. I hope it's actually. I think that's what it's doing. I think it's outputting all this just for a plan. And that'll be a little bit. Yeah, you doing all this for a plan. That's crazy. All this for a plan. Did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Minimum 100 trades per contract, top 100 trades per underlying stock. Updates every 5 minutes during market hours. Stocks, okay. At risk, filter by symbol. Okay, SPY, IV, beautiful. I don't need all of that, but if you can give it to me, I'll take it. Polling, main application, trade polar, quote polar, Greek polar. Okay. Data enricher, matches quotes, adds Greeks, calculates premium, sentiment engine, bid axe, usual, color coding, top 100, deduplication, filtering, rich UI. All right. All right. Terminal, pull the table from the. All right. Top tickers by flow. I like this. I like this. Open interest. I don't want to use cash. That's just the only thing we're not going to use is cash. Okay. Tickers, most liquid, mega cap. Okay. Popular stocks. I'm fine with this list, but I want us to be able to expand it accordingly. So I have SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA, EEM. I don't see silver. That's fine. Popular stocks, okay. All right. I'm good with it. The only thing I would want, right, is minimum 100 contracts for trade to filter out the noise, top 100 trades per underlying symbol, updates every 5 minutes during market hours, detect sentiment, bid ask, okay, feedback. All right, polls, Greeks, holds once daily. Um, okay, but you see here how um you see here how this is working. We want this to be able to. All right, hold on. This is a tiny. Forget Tesla. Okay, never mind. Never mind. That's an ad. No. Download. No. Show all. No. This is only. I would just like the top 20. How can we pull the top 20? And it's like, all right, this is the number of trades. Okay, hold on. And this may be a little bit more involved, but that's okay. Um, Perfect. Let me just drop you here. And of course, you're not going to pull. Before we get started, review and see how bar chart is able to aggregate daily based on um, underlying trades, etc. How can we get the list or the data stream that we are building to be a bit more dynamic rather than hard coding the stock symbols? Does that make sense? If so, run a few terminal commands, then advise how we can get this done. Um, so it can be a bit more dynamic than how static it is now. So we're almost there. We're going to tweak this so we can be able to get it to work. And I really like this data stream. Perfect. I see what you mean. Instead of hard coding QQQ, IMX, or you want to dynamically discover what's actually trading versus the large flow, just like bar chart is doing, aggregates across all trade types. So I'm interested to see how we're going to do this. And I think we can. Right. It's just a matter of being a little bit more consistent and pushing and asking for the information that we need. Damn, a 7 point lead. Let's see if we can do it. And I think we can. You just got to push for it. I mean, I understand where it was going before, but it does make sense to be able to have those underlying stocks and ETFs. But if we can do it where it's a bit more dynamic, shit, we got a home run. We got a home run. Whoa. Excuse me. Test with a specific symbol parameter. Tier 1, 6 symbols, polls every 6 minutes. 20, tier 3. Tesla has earnings, huge flow, activity detected, already fast polling. Okay. Start with a broad universe of 100 liquid tickers, right? 30 sectors. For each ticker, poll 5 to 10 seconds. This is the activity score per ticker. Dynamically allocate top 10 actives. Uh, Reset universe every 30 seconds. Inactive tickers, pause polling, check hourly. Strategy 2, snapshot discovery. Queries 50 tickers in 10 seconds. Identify which has the recent trades. Focus on real time polling on active trading only. Rescans universe. Hybrid. Maintain 3 watch lists. Okay. Conditional polling. Discover. Okay. So you still want to do this hard coded one, but we can update it every 10 seconds. That's fine. Huge flow. Activate. Detect tier 1. Already polling fast related to ETFs. Okay. Discover strategy. I'm fine with that. What do y'all think? Yeah, I'm fine with that. That makes it a little bit better. We can actually start coding now. Let me check the actual implementation. Now let me create the actual implementation. 21-7. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Blow this shit out. So we have ticker universe. Excuse me. Excuse me. Test dynamic ticket universe. I love it. 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 I mean, this is kind of almost still static in a sense. You just making it like you just trying to trick me to make it seem like it's dynamic. Consumer, defense, energy, crypto, meme, biotech. No JIT. All right, perfect. Let's get this plan underway. Only update is that we do not want to use cache functions or methods at all, nor do we want to use defaults or placeholders or fallbacks. Let's proceed with the plan. And after each step, making sure to test to ensure working properly. No mocks, no fallback implementations. All real and working. All right. Phase one, core data pipeline. All right, we're actually building our data stream. I'm excited. We fleshed out a couple things that we needed to flesh out. That's amazing. Now it's just a matter of being able to consistently have this work. I think this would have been a little bit more dope if it fed in from the S&P 500 as opposed to being able to do it that way. But should I have it do that? Then I'm being polar, straight polars. Okay. Um, perfect. All right, that's working. Do 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 do. Damn, kid, this is gonna be a good game too. Was I talking this whole time and y'all wasn't? Damn, I forgot about that. My fault. This whole time I was talking, it was muted. Whatever. I'm gonna learn. That's fine. But nonetheless, we got it working. I'm excited about that. We're going to pick this up again tomorrow, where we're actually going to paper trade and then do a couple more tweaks with this data stream. But nonetheless, man, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And if you do have any questions after the live air, you definitely could drop them, and I will do my best to answer it. But nonetheless, it's your boy Creative. We'll be back at it again tomorrow.